Now we just need Itadori to return safely. Yeah, sorry, but he isn't going to be coming back.
Run, nigga, run!
You really are boring. Fushiguro.
Run, nigga, run! Run, run, run!
Please die and become sages.
Run, nigga, run!
Alright, y'all. Now, Pete, gang. Am I the only one who wonders why Megumi is always running for his life from some shit in this show? Don't believe me? Try the 5th episode of the goddamn show where a two-fingered Sukuna emerges from the juvenile detention center and lets Megumi know that he's smoking his homeboy's pack, ripping his shirt off to let the tattoos breathe, and pulling out Yuji's heart and deep-throating another cursed finger, making this 3 fingers down the windpipe. Megumi is having a quarter-life crisis while Sukuna is just chilling in front of him. So he rushes towards him with this owl thing and misses 2 kicks, followed up by 2 more punches. Getting weaved 3 more times before finally connecting a kick, but Sukuna has this big ass smile on his face, so it's safe to say that shit did 0 damage. Sukuna thinks it's interesting that Megumi still throws hands while having Shikigami, and then he proceeds to whiff another attack, followed up by 2 more misses, and now it's time to slow down and analyze this. Sukuna blocks a left, weaves a right, and blocks a kick before weaving another kick and another punch. And at this point, I'm convinced this nigga Megumi is swinging with his eyes closed. Sukuna catches his fists spinning each other around before pulling him close and then back fisting him. Megumi summons the snake, which grabs Sukuna, bringing him up into the air for a combo attack with the owl. And after a few hits, Sukuna is done playing around and breaks free, immediately grabbing Megumi, tossing him through some trees, and now he gets on offense, catching Megumi with the kick, sending him scraping across buildings before rebounding him and sending him flying into another. Meg uses owl to catch himself, but Sukuna has Hall of Fame chase down equipped, spiking Megumi, sending him crashing through a building. And after that, Yuji takes back control, keeping Fushiguro alive, sacrificing his own life. However, that's only case A. Moving on to the next case, luckily we don't have to wait that long for Megumi's next fight, because 3 episodes later we get introduced to the GOAT, Todo. He's so tough he's got his own entrance theme. And he asks a simple question with a simple answer. What kind of women is your type? See, for anyone else, this is an easy answer. For Yuji, me, and Todo, it's tall girls with a big ass heart with all the love to give. Yeah, but Megumi Fushiguro is a strange nigga because he immediately started thinking about his sister.
What the fuck? No!
Hey, low-key, Todo beat his ass. Damn! Todo walking down Megumi in tears explains he's heartbroken about Meg being a lame ass nigga, and with no remorse, Megumi ups these frogs with wings on, but Todo speed blitzes him, grabbing him from behind, pause, and suplexing him. And I'm sorry, Todo, but you'd have had the better form. I'm not gonna hold you. He was in that bitch studying Kurt Angle. Todo almost stomps Megumi's head, and Meg backs off before getting caught with a right, followed by a left, followed up by 3 more sets of fucking up Fushiguro before palming his head like a Nerf ball and slamming him into a wall. Todo holds him against the wall and stares him down before sending him through the building and tossing him into the air, going for a right, but the frog grabs his arm. Finally, Todo tells Meg to stop holding back, and so Meg decides, how about I summon Maharaga and ruin everyone's day? Luckily, Inumaki and Panda put an end to this fight, but this still wasn't the end of Megumi running away. Let's move on later into the Goodwill event when Hanami, one of the disaster curses, pulls up on Megumi, Noritoshi, and Inumaki. Megumi tries calling Gojo, but Hanami knows what Gojo could do to her and rushes to smack that nigga's phone out of his hand. I mean, with that kind of speed blitz, you could have just killed him, but nah, I mean, making sure he doesn't call Gojo is #1. Mind you, they're in an anti-Gojo veil, and she's still this scared of this nigga pulling up. Inumaki tells him to don't move, followed up by Noritoshi's blood pack to slice Hanami, but that shit did 0 damage. Megumi tries following up with his owl, slashing her with the sword, but that shit genuinely left only a scratch. We skip forward to these 3 running for their life. Inumaki tells Hanami to stop, and Noritoshi hits him with a piercing blood, and that shit did 0 damage again. They continue running, turning the corner, crashing through a door. Look at the parkour. That was far. My goodness. Inumaki tries another stop, but he's reached his limit, and that nigga throat hurting. Pause if needed. Hanami then rushes Noritoshi, hitting him with this hard-ass right, had him bouncing like a fresh Spalding basketball. And here goes Mr. Crash Out Award, getting ready to summon Maharaga for the goddamn buff-ass Bulbasaur over here. But Inumaki tells him to chill out and walks down Hanami, and then tells that nigga to blast away, launching her back into the building, but Hanami gets up like Michael Myers before sensing Maki and breaking her sword. Megumi slashes away at one of Hanami's tree eyes, and this is technically technically where the run ends, but for the sake of completion, I'll end the fight when Megumi exits. Megumi hands Maki the playful cloud, and she immediately goes to work on Hanami, smacking her away, sending her through trees, skipping across the forest until she ends up at this stream. Megumi summons Demon Dog, who slashes away at Hanami, doing little damage, but Maki pulls up with Megumi's sword, catching her off guard, followed by Megumi attacking with playful cloud. They trade weapons and go back to slash Hanami. They start chatting until they realize Megumi has this fungus growing inside him, and Hanami stabs Maki with a branch. Demon Dog is released because it's feeding off of Megumi's cursed energy, and Maki tries going in on Hanami, missing 3 times before getting backhanded and then choked. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm so happy Mai got packed up because Maki was shooting 20% from the field. Before that power up she got, she was out here shooting the most inefficient shots, just out here shot chucking like a Luka Doncic berry. Megumi starts crashing out, but then Maki knew they were benched. Yuji and Todo pull up, sending both these two to the showers. And now we can move on to the next and final example. But real quick, if this video gets enough likes, I will make a follow-up finishing this fight with Yuji and Todo going up against Hanami. But now let's get to what we've been waiting for. Shibuya, October 31st. 2018. A re-emerged Toji Fushiguro is walking down Megumi, and he tries to motivate himself, seeing if there's any way he could win, but then Megumi realizes this nigga is different, and his chances of survival engaging in real hand-to-hand combat is negative 100%. He summons them damn bunnies and starts hitting the dash. Megumi runs into a building and Toji just spawns in from heaven, and now Megumi has to box. Going in with the right that gets blocked, followed by a flurry of attacks that all get blocked with one hand, and Toji not looking at them, just ore farming for no reason on his own son. But do I blame him? Absolutely not. He's been in ore debt since Gojo came back from the dead. Anyways, he hits Megumi with a back fist, and this is when shit gets goofy. Rabbit number 212 jumps in with a right claw, but gets grabbed by the ears, and then gets used as a weapon to take out his own rabbit brethren. Megumi attempts to sweep at the feet, but Toji blocks with a stab. He then blocks a back fist, followed by blocking another right hook and headbutting the shit out of Megumi, giving that man special grade CTE. Still holding his arm, Rabbit number 175 goes for a goddamn trouble in paradise that Toji dodges, and with his eyes closed, then bites the rabbit's ankle and tosses it aside. And to make matters worse, he throws Megumi away like a trash bag. He then stomps the ground, tossing the debris into the air, and then begins poking the debris to launch it at the rabbits, killing all of them in seconds. Megumi is then sent flying out of the building, and look at this frame. This boy is terrified. Realizing he's not fast enough, he turns around, squaring up at Toji, and gets kicked into a truck, followed by a 2-piece combo, launching him into a car. Toji then kicks the truck towards him, and Megumi gets out of the way, going back to running for his goddamn life. Megumi is climbing up buildings, so Toji decides, let's have a lovely game of catch. First tossing a sewer grate at him, then tosses a whole ass truck at him.
Is this nigga serious?
I just can't believe some of the slanderous things you guys say about Toji, like he isn't a good father. Some of y'all just mad y'all never had a dad to play catch with, or a dad that'll toss a semi-truck at you, for a matter of fact. But Toji tosses this sharp ass stick at him, and Megumi barely manages to dodge, landing on a roof and flying away with the owl. Toji jumps into this office building knowing Megumi is in here. Megumi, using the owl's electricity and the fire alarm's emergency shower system, causes an explosion with Toji trapped inside the building. However, that shit, say it with me now, did 0 damage, with Toji flying with his down air, almost killing Megumi, who barely escapes using his frog. Toji rushes Megumi, who uses his rabbit, messing up his footing, and Megumi grabs his arm, attempting to stab, but then Toji notices something. Oh shit, that's his son. Whole time he thought he was beating on this regular ass sorcerer. So Toji dodges. Toji then asks him what his name is, and Megumi replies Fushiguro. And knowing his son isn't a bitch ass Zenin, Toji offs himself out of joy, ending the squabble between Megumi and Toji in Shibuya. But that also answers the question of why Megumi is always running for his life. And the quick answer is that he be fighting some strong ass niggas. But that brings it into the video. I know it wasn't on the itinerary for this month, but it was a genuine shower thought I had, and I needed to answer the question myself. Oh, and for those who might wonder, I did consider the Reggie fight from Tokyo Colony, and I was gonna put it in this video, but Reggie was doing more running than Megumi was, and even when Megumi was running, he was doing it to lay out a trap for Reggie so he can, pop his domain. But just making sure that was straight before I got any comments that I'm still gonna get anyway. Although if you want to comment some bullshit on this video for the algorithm, that would be appreciated. Be my guest. Big video on the way. Stay tuned. Follow my Patreon for some exclusive videos because YouTube be tripping when it comes to copyright. Like the video if you like the video. If you got this far into the video, why aren't you subscribed, bro? Just subscribe, gang. You get quality content. But it's been Printer 14, and I'm signing out.
Pushing the brakes right now, I'm pushing the brakes right